the silly thing in reverse.
Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. This is a video that I thought it might be a little fun to make. Got a little window and I thought it would be really good because I've got this set aside. There's this pile of books. I thought it'd be really interesting to talk about it. It's kind of a companion video to another one I'm going to do, which is authors I want to discover in 2026. This is 10 books I'm going to reread. So these are books I've read before that I'm going to reread. And I'll tell you why I'm reading them again. So, first one is Watership Down by Richard Adams. I read this in school, so it's been quite a long time. And I did love it when I read it in school, so I'm going to read it again, see what I think now as an adult. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to think, to be honest, because it's so long ago, but I really did like it when I was in school. So Watership Down, that's the first one I want to talk about. Second one, I'm going to reread Frankenstein. So I've actually read this a couple of times, but I'm reading it again because I've got a little mini project that I've got a video made up for that's scheduled later, that I'm going to read my daughter's 3 favourite books. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to think about the other 2, but just in tribute to my wonderful daughter, I love her very much, and it'd be nice to read her three favourite books. She's a big reader, so, and you might have, if you've seen this channel a lot, you would have seen her on a couple of live streams, and this is her all-time favourite book. So I'm rereading Frankenstein. Also, there was a recent adaptation by Del Toro, and I'm a big Del Toro fan, but I want to know how close it is. So I'll have to read this fairly quickly because I do want to see the film, and it'd be good to kind of compare them in my head, because I know he deviates a little bit from it, but I think apparently there's some things that are in the new film that aren't normally in the Frankenstein adaptations, which is interesting. So anyway, yeah, so that's one I definitely want to read as well in 2026. That'll be early 2026. This is one, again, I haven't read this for so long, but I loved it. It's one of my favourite books, still ingrained in my head, but then obviously the film is an absolute masterpiece. So that's obviously kept it in my mind as well, but I did read it many, many years ago. So I think I read this in my 20s, so many years ago. But The Princess Bride by William Goldman is definitely one I'm going to read again in 2026. Let me know what you think of that book. But I look forward to reading that again. This is one I read as a teenager, so this is a long time ago. Mythico Wood by Robert Holdstock. This is a fantastic portal fantasy kind of thing. And I remember absolutely loving it when I was a kid. So I'm going to be rereading that. If you want to buddy read any of these, let me know, because it's not going to be for a while. So this is going up in December, but you know, there may be enough time to plan ahead and buddy read these things. So if you want to read Mythico Wood, it is an absolute classic, and I loved it when I was a kid. But you know, I read it as a teenager, so long time ago. This is one that I'm going to reread again for the Banned Books project, because it was quite a while ago. So I read this in my 20s. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I remember it's quite hard going, but really important and brilliantly written, obviously. She was an amazing writer, an amazing woman. So Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, is also going to be reread in 2026 for the Banned Books project, which is ongoing. But if I do read a book that I know has been challenged or banned, I will highlight that. So it's an ongoing thing, because there's so many books out there that have been, but this is one I definitely want to reread. This is one I'm a little bit intimidated by, because this has actually been on my TBR for quite a long time, but I know I really liked it when I read this when I was in university. So this is probably going back about, let's try and work this out, probably about 18 years. Yeah, about 18 years ago. And that's Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. So I've got 2 versions of it, actually. I've got a penguin one up there, and this is a really interesting one from Bedford St Martin's. And I just really like this edition. So I'm going to be hopefully reading Gulliver's Travels. I'd love to buddy read this one in particular. This would be a really nice buddy read. So if anyone wants to buddy read this with me, let me know. Gulliver's Travels in 2026. You may not have a lovely floppy version like me. But physicality of books, people. Physical media. This is one, I've read this book so many times, but I know I'm going to read it again in 2026. It's worth flagging it up again because it's so wonderful. But having said that, I recently reread it about 2 years ago, I think it was, and I'll be reading it again. I will read it again, but I'm going to read the second one again. So I didn't read the second one. So this is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So the first book is Alice in Wonderland, but the second one is Alice Through the Looking Glass, and that's the one I'm definitely going to reread. But I'm probably going to read both of them again. It's just such a pleasurable experience reading it. So, and what I'd like to do, I've got one which I don't know if it's just there. Where is it? Yeah, I'm not sure where it is, but there's one called The Annotated Alice, which is really interesting. It's got like notes on the margins. So I might read that version. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading Alice's 2 books. This is an interesting one. I'm reading this one again because I've forgotten a lot of what happens. And I need to read it again because I want to read the other 2 in the series. So I haven't mentioned him for a while, but I'm a big Blake Crouch fan. And I've got some other Blake Crouch stuff up there I want to read. But I'm going to read Pines again because I want to read the other 2. I've only ever read the first book in the Pines trilogy. So I'm going to read this again so that it's all fresh in my mind, and I'm going to immediately read the other 2. So again, if anyone's been tempted to read the Pines trilogy and they haven't got around to it yet and they'd like to buddy read it, let me know, because this first book's fantastic. But I think the other 2 are probably really good as well. So that's also the case. This is probably not going to be a buddy read. This is one I got very excited about when I saw it in Forbidden Planet. And this is absolutely going back to my childhood. This is going back to when I was what was I, 13 maybe? It's definitely one of the earliest books I ever read. But this is all put in an omnibus. So these are the first Han Solo books by Brian Daley. So I bought these again. It's a big chunky, not particularly great physically book. It's like the writing's right in the margins. It's one of those. It's an American import, and some of these American mass market paperbacks, there's a really weird shape. So anyway, yeah, we're talking about Han Solo at Star's End, Han Solo's Revenge, and Han Solo and the Lost Legacy. All 3 books are in here, and I can't wait to read them. So they're going to be read again in 2026, because I really loved those books when I was a kid. That again, one of the things that got me reading back in the day when I was a boy. And the last one, just because it's been so long, but I have read this about 4 times before, but I absolutely love it. I've talked about it on the channel before. Recently did the tag, but I hadn't read it again when I did the tag, and I'm going to read at least the first 3 books again, and that's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams. So I kind of feel like I know it backwards anyway, but I want to read it again in 2026. And then I'm going to read The Restaurant in the Universe and Life of the Universe and everything. I've got them out from the loft ready, so they're in one of these shelves somewhere. I'm not as bothered about reading So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. It's good, but it's not as good as the first 3. And although I might end up doing that. And I'm definitely not worried about reading Mostly Harmless again, which I really wasn't very impressed with. But I love this book very, very much, and I love the other 2 as well. So there we are, 10 books I'm definitely going to read in 2026. If you want to buddy read any of those, then we can schedule them up. It doesn't really matter when I do it, except Frankenstein I want to do quite quick because of I want to watch the film. But the others, I don't really know when in 2026 yet. So if you do want to buddy read them, let me know, and then we can pick a time. But if not, that's one of my plans. So I've got obviously plans to do other things as well. But those are 10 books I'm going to sorry, I don't know what's happening there. 10 books I'm going to reread in 2026. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe and make a comment. Make a comment on other people's videos. Like and subscribe their videos. Make your own videos. Read your own books. Read those books. Let me know what you think. I'm going to reread. I'm going to transmit to you everything that I've read telepathically, and you can tell me what you think I should reread. There you go. Hopefully you can come up with some other ideas as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay curious, everybody.
Paint me a picture of what it's like to be